Welcome back to Time Chat. I'm your host, Dr. Yvonne Khan, and we're joined by the president of the New York City Parents Union, Ms. Mona Davids. So, Ms. Davids, right before we left for break, we were, despite the efforts of the Title I group at PS 106 in the Bronx, there has been resistance by the administration and even some of the teachers, and there have been barriers that your group has faced in trying to turn things around. Please tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, 106 has literally failed to educate thousands of students over the years. And the same teachers for many years have taught the same grade in the same classroom every single year. And every single year, the kids that come into that classroom leave the classroom not reading, writing at grade level. So now that we're bringing all of this information to light and saying to the parents, listen, the children are not being educated, we're receiving a lot of pushback from the teachers at the school.
So they may be getting a little defensive about their effectiveness and how
they are very defensive about about the quality of teaching and learning at the school. But as parents, we want our children to receive a high quality education. The children at PS 106 clearly are not receiving a high quality education. And we can blame the Common Core, but the Common Core has only been around for 2 years. The students at PS 106 were failing to being educated for decades. We have parents at the school who were students at the school, and they too did not receive a grade. And the cycle just continues, and now they're the parents. And now we need to change that.
So with the new wave of Bangladeshi immigrants, and it sounds like a lot of them are doing better than their peers, how involved are the parents, the Bangladeshi parents, with the PTA? How much more involved should they be? What's that experience been like?
Well, the Bangladeshi parents know that they're not welcomed at PTA meetings. So the Bangladeshi parents come to the Title I Parent Advisory Council meetings because we have workshops for the parents. We work with the parents. Our treasurer is Manika Mandel from Bangladesh. We're very receptive. We work closely with the immigrant parents at the school. And because of the work that we've done with Ms. Mandel and Ms. Sarah Aileen, we were able to start an after-school scholars program to provide the extra academic intervention support that our children clearly need. We started the program on January 7th. This year. We asked the teachers to volunteer 2 days a week to help our children. Out of 95 teachers, only 2 teachers volunteered for 3.5 hours.
They asked for?
3.5 hours a week.
3.5, so it's an hour and 45 minutes each session?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. And out of 95 teachers at the school, only 2 volunteered. But because of media coverage and because the Department of Education was shamed, a couple of weeks after we launched our program, the Chancellor and the DOE miraculously found funding to pay for 10 teachers and expand our program to 150 kids from the 60 kids that we were serving. So there is power in organizing parents.
So the New York City Parents Union, for that particular example, is bringing the awareness to the public spotlight.
Yes.
And by doing that, the people at top in the Department of Education or the UFT, whoever it may be, have to respond with actual help.
And because of Title I Parent Advisory Council, Manika Mandel, Ms. Aileen, and so many of our parents, most of them immigrant parents, we now have an after-school program that is serving 150 kids.
Great.
Our after-school program serves more kids than what the Y program, the Y after-school program at our school currently does. And that is because immigrant parents, Bengali, Africans, Middle Eastern parents, we came together and
so there's unity in the immigrant groups.
There is unity in the immigrant groups, and because of that, 150 students at our school are receiving extra academic support. We are trying to expand the program to the next school year, and we want the program for all students that want to participate. We have over 500 parents that signed this petition, but the teachers, the PTA, and the Department of Education are refusing to support the parents.
So, such as the old adage says, it does take a village to raise a child, and it's just a matter of who in the village is willing to step up. Moving away from PS 106 just for a little bit, you know, the work of the New York City Parents Union covers the entire city.
Yes.
And most of our viewers at home are either from Queens, the Bronx, and Parkchester, or parts of Brooklyn. Just quickly, what differences do you see in the education systems in the public school within these three boroughs, if you can speak to that?
Well, there's a big difference. You know, unfortunately, the Bronx has been the lowest performing county when it comes to education and state tests for over 10 years. When I look at the quality of education in Queens, I would have to say, out of the three, Queens schools provide the best quality education. Even our parents who used to live in Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, like Miss Mendel, who
and their rent went up and they moved to the Bronx.
Yes, and they moved to the Bronx. They see the difference in the quality of teaching from the schools here in Jackson Heights and Elmhurst compared to PS 106 in the Bronx. Brooklyn, you know, Brooklyn schools, depending again on what zip code you live in, what neighborhood you live in, you know, the schools varies. There's definitely disparities based on the community and the affluence of the parents. But the Bronx definitely has the lowest quality education and the biggest challenge ahead. And unless parents stand up and demand that their children be educated, their children will fall by the wayside and their futures will be destroyed.
And I'm really glad you know, unfortunately, it's such a strong sentiment, but how can parents prevent that from happening? We have so many parents at home who are realizing that there is a big problem. What can your typical parent do to become more involved with their school's PTA or Title I group? How would you advise parents to help turn around change in whatever school their child attends?
Well, I would definitely tell parents, start attending your school leadership team meetings, which stands for SLT.
SLT.
Because the school leadership team meetings, which are supposed to be comprised of half parents, half teachers, and the principal, that's where they decide what the curriculum is going to be at the school, whether they're going to have extended day, whether they're going to have foreign language at the school. Parents need to go to those meetings and demand these improvements to the schools. Demand that if a curriculum is not working at the school, for example, at PS 106, clearly the curriculum that the school is using is not working, but the school is refusing to change the curriculum at the school. Parents need to attend those meetings and demand that they change the curriculum and get a better curriculum, a curriculum that works, where there's a track record of success in educating the children.
And that sounds like a lot of work for new immigrant parents, and but it's not impossible. We've all been immigrants ourselves, and moving away from your work, what's it like being from the parent side? I mean, a lot of this you're working and leading other parents, but as a mom, what's it been like for your children to see you in these battles with school officials and the DOE and how's that been for your kids?
Well, with my daughter, my 16-year-old, she's used to it, and she's a junior in high school, and she attends a specialized high school as well. So she understands the value of a great education. For my first grader at PS 106, he doesn't fully understand what's going on. He doesn't understand why are the teachers always mad with mommy, and why is the principal mad with mommy, and why are some of the parents always angry with mommy. It takes a toll on
for a child
him,
that
for
young.
a child. It does, because children notice and children hear things. But like my daughter, as he grows, as long as he knows that his mom has fought hard for him and the 1.4 million other public school students to make sure that everyone has a great education, I think that he will come to understand and appreciate the sacrifices that we have to make, and some of the problems and obstacles we have to deal with.
Well, my hat's off to you, the Title I group, and everyone involved in working towards the best solution in PS 106 and throughout New York City. What final message would you have for viewers at home? You have a lot of young families out there. The floor is yours. What final message do you have for our community?
The final message is you came to this country so that your child could get a great education. You work hard every day to make sure that your child gets a great education. You are doing your part. Make sure that you hold the teachers and the school accountable to educating your child. Your child only has one future, and it's up to you to ensure that they prepared to have a great future, that they are college and career ready. The onus is on the parents. It's our children, and we must take action.
It's been a pleasure, Ms. Davids. Thank you so much for educating our community and
Thank you for
keeping,
having me.
we wish you the best of luck in helping our community, and we can't wait to support all of your efforts up in the Bronx and throughout New York City.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, you had a chance to hear from Ms. Mona Davids, the president of the New York City Parents Union. As you heard, the education system can differ from borough to borough, school to school, neighborhood to neighborhood. And ultimately, it's really up to parents and empowering each other to find that voice, to speak up to school officials and find every resource available to help our kids at home and at school and wherever they may be on the weekends with after-school activities and extracurricular activities. Until next week, I'm your host, Dr. Yvonne Khan. You've been watching Time Chat. We'll be revisiting a lot of these education issues in the upcoming weeks. Can't wait to see you next week. Thank you for joining us today.